What's up, guys?
Yo.
We're live.
Yeah. Good day, man. It's a good day.
Yeah, lots of content. Y'all losers aren't watching Stranger Things, but it's good. That's all I'll say.
Stranger Things. My name's David. I like Stranger Things. Shut up, Dave. We don't have time for that. We're watching Game of Thrones. We're watching Obi-Wan. We're watching fucking Showgirls because you told us to watch it.
What the hell?
Sally, you hear that?
Also, yeah, saw the new Top Gun today.
He's like Jesse. What was her fucking name in Saved by the Bell?
I don't know.
I was gonna say Jesse Kapowski, but that's Kelly Kapowski.
I didn't watch that show.
You didn't watch Saved by the Bell?
No.
Holy shit, dude! Kill the fucking stream. We're out. we got to go.
Saw the new Top Gun today.
Nobody cares.
Much to Josh's chagrin, it's better than the original. I'm sorry.
No, it's not.
It's not. It is.
Look, here's
you
the
haven't
deal.
seen it. You haven't seen it.
Here's the deal. I've been trying to get Amanda to go see Doctor Strange for like a couple of weeks. Look, at this point, I am willing to circumvent Doctor Strange to go see Top Gun just to prove you wrong. I'm going to go in with every intention to prove you wrong.
So what that means is that even if you agree with me, you're not going to tell me that.
No, Dave, because if by some weird like happenstance that it is actually better than the original, I will eat crow. I will come on this podcast where we have the millions
and millions
of fans out there, and I will eat crow. Okay. But I got to go see Doctor Strange before we go see Thor.
Speaking of eating crow, what season does that redhead come in with? Oh, okay.
You're talking about Game of Thrones?
Yeah, the Jon Snow's girl.
Yeah, season 2.
Oh, no. She's
Ygritte.
in like season 3 or whatever.
No, she's in season 2.
Aren't they real life married?
Yeah. She's in season 2 because I'm in season 2. He just, like wimped out on killing her, and then she fucking okey doked him, and he had to chase her down, and then he lost his crew, and so now they're having to like lay down on the rock together to keep each other warm. She keeps rubbing her ass on his penis, trying to seduce him.
I mean, that sounds like an astute tactic. I'm gonna say on her part. Yeah, I think so, Jason. I would agree. Hey,
I forgot how long Jon Snow was actually on the wall.
Like there. Basically, like
it's like 4 seasons.
Yeah,
it's pretty long time.
Yeah, and then you just go straight back. Anyway, spoilers, but yeah, we're here to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was good, but let's get into the pod.
Oh goddamn, Dave doesn't have time to fuck around.
Hey, I just know Jason cries normally like we haven't started yet. So
yeah, but because usually it's about 30 to 45 minutes, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, I haven't set the counter. Stop asking."
Hey, dude, just forget that he knows how to set the counter.
That's right, Tripper Totem, baby.
Act like it doesn't exist,
dude. I remember that. I remember that dungeon run vividly. Utgard Pinnacle. We were in that room. You go through these rooms where you can get feared into the other rooms and pull more mobs. And I was running my shaman up through there because we had already done everything with our mains, and I just didn't use the Tremor Totem. And I was like, dude, just pretend it doesn't exist.
We were getting, what was it, feared left and right.
Yeah, you get feared and pulling and everything. I mean, of course, we didn't wipe because we're good at the game.
But it was just a pain in the ass.
It's just annoying.
Yes.
Like, it could have been a lot easier. We could have just, like, face rolled.
And I think
we actually had to, like, try.
And then I think after, like, the second or third fear, that's when you're like, Dave, Tremor Totem at all? And I'm like, dude, just pretend it doesn't exist. Like, I was super salty. I was tired of you guys.
Bro.
It was late. I'm pretty sure it was past midnight. I just didn't want to hear it.
Hey, dude, we were young and we were young in those days. We were young, and the fossil was still old as shit.
I know, that's weird.
How old was I?
I don't know. That was like 10 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that was at least 10 years ago.
Who do we know that's that age now?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's right.
No. I refuse to believe that. I think you've always been older. Plus, you're like a You're like an eldritch like lich. You're just kind of like ancient. You're like hundreds and hundreds of years old.
I got you.
Jesus Christ. That joke took hundreds and hundreds of years to land, and it wasn't good. All right, here we go. We ready to start?
No, just for that, I'm ending the stream.
Hopefully we don't have 5 takes like
Look,
this.
dude, don't threaten me with a good time. I don't even want to talk about this shit.
Yeah, because it's better than anything Star Trek's ever done.
Yeah, this is like Obi-Wan just sucky.
Dude, how many beers did it take for you to make that joke up and think it was good?
2.5.
All right. but you definitely said it, and you thought, man, I got Dave with that one. I got him for sure.
That shit landed like the moon lander, bro.
Like right before it passed your lips, you're like, ooh, he's gonna be hurting now. Jason's like, dear God, I need a beer just to hang with these dudes.
I only got 3 in the fridge, so.
Well, go ahead and go get one, Fuss. I'll wait.
All right.
All right. Hey, while we're waiting here, so we are doing the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Why do they name it that? We're gonna talk about that later. Obi-Wan Kenobi tonight. Excuse me. We do have 4 more weeks of the Obi-Wan show coming up, but also starting next week is going to be season 3 of the fucking boys. So we are going to be inundated with content. I'm super excited for the boys.
Yeah.
So just a story for those listening on this as far as YouTube. So I messed up my shoulder at work, so I had the wife pick up some.
Was it at work or was it
at
working
work
at home? Yeah.
No, no, it was at work, and so I had the wife pick up some, Bengay, some ointment cream or whatever, icy hot shit. So she brings it home, and like I got home from work, and I was like, she bought like a half gallon of this shit, and so I took a shower and I get out and
that is an Astroglide or what?
Yeah, I splooged this shit all over my hand, not really thinking about like how much I need, and I just lather it. I mean, I'm just like, yeah, this is great. Like all over my shoulder, down my arm, shoulder blade, up the side of my neck.
Did that asshole at least buy you a drink after that?
Yeah. So I'm washing my hands and I'm like, phew, fucking getting hot in here.
You're like, this shit burns.
I look at the fucking box. It's like ultra strength.
Oh God! It's like use like a dime-sized dollop here.
Bro, I thought I was on fire. Like somebody threw gasoline on half my body and just lit a fucking match. Like I had to go stand in front of the fan. Like that shit was next level.
Nice.
For about a good 10 minutes.
Don't keep that stuff beside your dresser and like accidentally get it mixed up when you're kind of rolling around with the wife.
Yeah,
and you accidentally use that instead.
No.
That would be super bad.
I go, Jesus Christ, dude! If this shit got in my balls, I would probably just cut them off.
Oh my goodness! Hey guys, we're here to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hey, look, you only get this kind of content, solid gold content, on the YouTube.
On YouTube, so hey, subscribe now if you're not already. What are you doing?
Yeah. Do you think Obi-Wan has ever put like Bengay on his balls?
I'm gonna say no.
No, I don't think so. They probably don't even have Bengay in that.
Dude, he could even do it like... Dude, the Jedi are so lucky because he could even do it without his hands, bro. He could just force apply Bengay to his balls.
He calls it the stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just uses the force for all kinds of things.
I mean, could you like force use like a grapefruit?
I'm done. I'm done. I don't like this. Stop messing with my world here.
Dude, Luke was doing that by himself with that fucking giant cow, the green milk cow.
And he had this, I don't know why, it just bothers me that he had it all in his beard and he just let it sit there.
And then he just winks at Ray.
Yeah, Yoda was solo on that swamp planet there for
Dagobah.
Yes, it's Dagobah.
The fucking swamp planet, you Star Wars fan. All right, hey, let's go.
Yeah, come on. Let's pull it.
Let's pull this motherfucker.
Like
Hello and welcome to Three Guys and a Mic presents Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Like Josh would definitely like force pull his dick.
Just while I'm at work, bro.
Just like while you're just standing there, you just have your hand. Like, no way, that's Professor Xavier. You wouldn't do that, but you just you pull too hard, and you just fucking all of a sudden you just see blood out of your crotch. It's like on your pants, it's just leaking. You're just screaming.
Jesus Christ!
You just force yank that bitch right the fuck off.
Wow.
Then I have to go see one of those people in Mos Espa.
Yep, that's why. That's
we all saw how it worked. With
too old to forget in the training.
Force tricking or mind fucking.
You don't. It's not called a mind fuck. I don't think the Jedi mind fuck you.
I mean, you say it over the phone. It's a Jedi mind trick.
We did see a Jedi mind trick. Okay, let's just go. Shut up.
Yes, please. We're trailing real bad.
Do it. Pull it.
Hello, and welcome to Three Guys and a Mic presents Obi-Wan Kenobi, a new original series from Disney+. I'm your co-host, the Human Dart, along with
Jason Tsunami
and David Disaster.
Hey, we made it.
What's up, everybody?
I was like having to fight, like spit everywhere out of the, like I don't know, I was drooling and shit on that.
Guys,
I don't know what's going on.
But I do know that I woke up at 4:30 in the morning on Friday to watch both episodes of this show.
God, what a nerd, man.
Great, Dave?
What's that?
You want to hear something great?
What's that?
It actually released the night before.
Did it? What time?
I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about, because they were watching the Disney Celebration.
Yeah.
And they had, and I actually watched part of it with the actual interview with Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen. And after they got done with their little, interview or whatever it was a live crowd and stuff. And they're like, okay, so we're like an hour away from everybody watching this, this debut. And I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? I guess they were just going to watch it there, but that wasn't the case. They actually released it, I think, like at 10 o'clock or whatever last night.
Or you mean on Thursday night?
Yeah, Thursday night.
Well, I totally forgot about it. Like I knew we were doing the pod, and I'm there Friday, and it's like Obi-Wan. I'm like, Obi-Wan, what are you talking about? I was like, oh shit, it's Friday. I'm like, fuck, man, I'm closing. I got to watch 2 episodes of that tonight. That's why I called the wife. I'm like, hey, listen, I don't want to hear it. We got to watch 2 episodes of this. She's like, you have to watch 2 episodes.
And you're like, I guess I do.
Yeah, and then she watched. Well, I say she watched. She played. She like looked at TikToks while we were doing episode 1, and then she fell asleep like right at the start of episode 2. So I was like, all right. Oddly enough, that's how I felt about these episodes.
Don't be dumb.
Okay.
I absolutely loved it. Before
all right, well, while we're here,
yeah,
initial reactions without going too far, Dave. Make it quick.
Okay. I loved it. It was everything that I wanted it to be. There are a couple of things that obviously questions that I have, but I'm not going to count those as issues. But overall, this is I set my expectations high, and it's different than I thought it was going to be, but I love it. I think it's very, very good.
Ash?
Yeah, I agree with Dave in the sense that it's different than what I thought it was going to be. Look, I'm joking around with you guys. Like, I thought it was really good. I'm surprised that in a 6-episode series that, like, I feel like it's a bit of a slow start. Like, not in, like, a bad way, but I feel like...
Yeah, we got to pick up speed here in a minute.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I guess I don't know what the story is that we're telling necessarily, right? So, but... I thought it was going to be moving a little bit faster since it was going to be only a 6-episode series. But I have enjoyed like all the characters that have showed up in the movies. In the series so far. And I would say like after watching Mando and after watching Obi-Wan, I feel like in the first 2 episodes of this is definitely like the best made, best produced series that we've had so far. Like, it feels very cinematic.
Yeah, it feels like a step away from like movie quality.
Yeah, and how fucking cool is it that they've gotten like all the actors to like reprise their roles? Jimmy Smits, Joel Egerton, obviously Ewan McGregor. We know Hayden Christensen's coming down the pipe here. So, I also think that's really cool. They were able to get all the original actors in here.
Yeah, no official word yet, one way or the other, on James Earl Jones reprising his role as the voice of Darth Vader.
We only heard the breath so far.
Hayden Christensen was asked specifically.
And he wouldn't say one way or the other.
And he said, I what he said, I think he said like I plead the fifth, basically.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly that, but it was fundamentally that.
My takeaway from the show is I had reservations when Obi-Wan was first announced. Then the trailer dropped, and I was pretty hyped.
So good.
I did have some reservations that we had talked about, kind of off pod again, going into the show. So far, this is a very tight, in my opinion, a tight story they're telling. There's not a lot of holes. There's not a lot for interpretation. They're filling in the blanks as they go, and everything seems to be believable as far as like what they're telling you. I was pleasantly surprised. I think it is really, really good so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. I guess I didn't know what to expect. I guess like, where's Obi-Wan going to be 10 years after Episode 3? But I guess like 8 or so years before Episode 4. So I guess I didn't really know where he was going to be in the process. I thought, Dave and I talked earlier, and he kind of mentioned that this is really what he was hoping for, was this Obi-Wan that was really like out of practice and kind of trying to get it back.
Yeah. Like,
I didn't know if like the Force was something you could really lose. I didn't know if maybe he was kind of keeping it tight in that cave on Tatooine. So I was really surprised to see him having just like a fucking day-to-day factory style job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they kind of, they don't really explicitly state this, but you get the impression that he has like separated himself from the Force, right? He is purposefully living a mundane life to not attract attention to himself.
Yeah, he's absolutely in the Jedi protection plan.
Yeah.
Could you imagine though, like, think about Episode 1 through 3 and the life that Obi-Wan led, right? Could you imagine just being on this assembly line and cutting what I assume is pieces of meat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that I didn't catch it the first time, but I caught it the second time. What it is a giant like space eel that has crashed into the planet. It looks and it's in sideways, so it looks like it's this fin kind of in the sand, and it's kind of hard to tell what it is. But imagine like a giant stingray landing sideways, so half of it's sticking out of the sand. And then they put
I thought that was just some old bones there, like they built off of.
It's a dead fucking animal, and they just built scaffolding on the side of it, and are just carving the shit out of it, and then assembly lining the pizza they carve out.
Yeah,
I didn't know if that was just like, I thought it was like a shitload of bantha meat or something.
No, man, it's just for the show purpose alone. Yeah, just for the show purpose alone. I mean, hot desert sand, and you're on day 3 or 4 of cutting that shit fucking meat.
Yeah.
I would have a 24-hour crew on that goddamn thing.
Yeah, dude, I bet that shit stinks so bad.
I really liked, and I didn't know I would like it, but I really do appreciate how they've written Obi-Wan as essentially like hopeless. Like he is, we see him later meeting a Jedi, and he's just like, not
forget about it.
Yeah, he's like, look,
forget all this shit.
Yeah,
we're going to talk more about these different little things like this, but it's little things like what you just said. Like, it's the same way that Yoda kind of is when Luke finds him, and it's the same way that Luke is when Rey finds him.
Like the Jedi are done. Like him.
True. That's a good call.
Him literally saying to that younger Jedi, like, we lost. It's fucking over. Like, go bury. Like, he literally told him, go bury your lightsaber in the fucking desert. It's done.
It's kind of funny though that like Obi-Wan's hiding, right? Like he's in hiding here, and this guy comes running over out of nowhere. He's like, "Hey, bro, I thought I saw you in town." Yeah. Hey, these guys are after me, bro. Like, you got to help me. Like,
yeah, I think
I guess he's not doing that good of a job of hiding.
I think that's one of the few times in the 2 episodes where we need to tell this story, and
it just has to happen. So
yeah, and it's like, how can we make it happen? Well, we'll just what if there was a Jedi that recognized him
and follows him
and follows him to the desert?
Yeah, Jason. I guess before we get too far off the rails, do you want to do your recap of episode 1?
I'll do episode 1 or episode 1 and 2 together. What do you want to do?
Let's do them both together. We're talking about episode 1 and 2 together. We're gonna do the categories a little separately, but from a recap standpoint, let's just cover everything.
All right, here we go. Set 10 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith, the Jedi are scattered across the galaxy, teetering on the brink of extinction. The show takes us right into the plight of not only the Jedi, but the subjects and colonies along the Outer Rim, as we are introduced to the Inquisitors. Grand Inquisitor, Reva, and Fifth Brother are in force on Tatooine following a lead of a potential Jedi. Our hero is a meat packer. He likes it thick and meaty. He lives in a cave and spends his free time eyeing on children with binoculars.
Jesus
We immediately
Christ.
pivot to Leia, who's a rambunctious, adventurous young girl on the soon-to-be-blown-up planet of Alderaan. We're introduced to Uncle Owen, who does confront Obi-Wan, telling him to stay away, leave Luke alone. To end the episode, Leia runs off into the forest, and we get to get away for a bit and gets kidnapped by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And Senator Organa pleads,
Dude, fucking
Obi-Wan,
flee, man. Let's go, flee.
help me now. Stop wallowing in the pity of your failures and get off your ass and save someone. We immediately jump into episode 2, right into the fray of confronting the kidnappers. And of course, Obi-Wan, in absolute Obi-Wan fashion, gets captured. But manages to escape and rescue Leia, who immediately flips the script, accusing Obi-Wan of being the reason why she's been kidnapped. Dude, and runs off.
That was on purpose, by the way, that he got captured. That was all part of the plan.
It was all part of the plan. Once he realized that, he was in the wrong cell.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan, once again, terrible parenting and adulting. Obi-Wan is compelled to use the Force and saves Leia. Reva, the truly bad guy Inquisitor, tracks down and corners them in the cargo transport. Once again, Obi-Wan escapes when the Grand Inquisitor takes a lightsaber to the chest. But before he gets out of Dodge, Reva drops the bombshell. Vader lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
And then you get the breath.
So I think just the first thing I think that I want to talk about here is, we had brought up, I think off the pod, Jason and I definitely, because Obi-Wan Kenobi, while Leia went to Alderaan to be with the Senator, and Bail Organa, or Organa, I'm not sure the pronunciation there. I guess it depends. But Obi-Wan was Organa. Obi-Wan was tasked himself with watching over Luke. And so one of the things that Jason and I had talked about was, man, there better be a good fucking reason for Obi-Wan to actually go off planet, because when we saw the trailer, we noticed, clearly Obi-Wan is not on Tatooine at some point. Like there's got to be something that takes him off planet. And I got to say, I'm a little disappointed in Jason and I specifically, being the bigger Star Wars fans. We never even considered the fact that Leia would be a prominent role in this show.
Absolutely none whatsoever. I was when they make the switch and it switches to the other planet, I'm like, where the fuck are we at? Because you never see Alderaan
No.
Really in the movies, except for when it gets blown into a billion pieces. And so I'm like, what the hell is this? And then, it does the little part where the girl's getting dressed.
I knew right away when I saw it. I was like, oh my God, it's fucking Leia.
Is this Leia? And then, they do the little reveal.
Leia, by the way, the greatest character in Star Wars history, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yes. That's not a troll, by the way.
No.
And yeah, dude, I was caught off guard.
And
pleasantly surprised.
And before I forget, before we get on to a different topic, I just want to take a moment to applaud that young actress who's playing Leia, and also the writing, around her character. Fucking fantastic job. I mean, because that is huge shoes to fill. With Carrie Fisher being gone, and obviously anyone that tries to portray Leia is going to be held to a probably unrealistic, unfair standard. But I think that little girl nailed it. She definitely gave me like the Leia vibes, and I thought she was fantastic. That easily could have been the undoing of the show had they cast basically the kid that they cast as Anakin in the in Phantom Menace. Had that been another Phantom Menace situation, we might be having a completely different conversation right now.
That's why it's a good thing George Lucas is only involved in this in namesake.
Yeah.
Correct.
What did y'all think of Leia? Were y'all shocked? Did you like that introduction? What do y'all think?
I already said mine, so go ahead.
I don't want to jump ahead in categories here, but she's got a spot favorably in the favorite character from the episode 1 category, because she is my favorite character from there. She was fun, dude. She's like super sassy with her parents, but you could see
still respectful.
Yeah, but you could see the beginnings of this Leia that spans all 9 episodes.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, all the 6 episodes, 4 through 9.
And the attitude that she gives Obi-Wan as her rescuer is very similar. The attitude she gives Luke when he shows up in the stormtrooper suit.
Yeah.
It's so good.
But I mean, look, I it's funny not thinking that she would be a big part of the story, but when you go back and you think about episode 4 where she's, giving the message to the droid and the help me Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You steal my thunder.
Yeah, well, it was clear, she obviously knew him because Luke doesn't know him, and he only knows him as Ben Kenobi, but she knows him as the full-on Obi-Wan, so. I'm
glad you brought that up, Josh, even though it kind of steals a little bit. When I came to that realization that, oh my God, this is going to make, depending on how the rest of the season goes, obviously, but this is going to make that moment of help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. She's reaching out to him because he literally saved her as a little girl. They actually have history that's canon, and dude, that's, I don't know, that's such a sweet moment now. That kind of makes rewatching episode 4 just a little bit, and I have a feeling that's not going to be the last moment that kind of makes rewatching, episode 4 and the original trilogy just a little bit sweeter.
So, do we think, maybe I could save this for later, but now, with that point of view, Dave, do you think they go back and redo episode 4 again with George Lucas and just cut out the original fucking actor that played Obi-Wan and just put Ewan McGregor in there?
Oh, with computers, deep faked and just
Yeah. And then they just update the lightsaber battle between him and Darth Vader, and it's actually like on the level of good. Yeah.
Look. If you're asking me if that ever happens in the history of ever, then yeah, that's going to probably
probably won't be Ewan McGregor. Well, it might be. I mean, 30 years from now, he'll be as old as.
Bro, he is Obi-Wan Kenobi, bro. There can never be another.
That's a different question. I'll save it for the end. Well, we're already talking about it. Do you guys ever want to see the original trilogy remade? Obviously we would all watch it. That's not really the question. Yeah. The question is, do you think it'd be good, and would you be excited or more nervous than excited?
Go ahead, Josh. I'll answer last.
I'd be excited because I think ultimately, you don't have to like reinvent the wheel, right? You take the story that's there in front of you. I mean, the hardest part is the casting. Obviously, you got to cast the right people in there. But assuming you do that, the good thing is now you actually have a good. Well, theoretically, you'd have a good director who would actually like do things like get good performances out of the actors. Yeah. So, you might actually get good acting in the movie. Plus, you just get all the updated looks. You get the updated, fighting styles, things like that. So, I would be optimistic, assuming the casting is good.
I think we would all, or go ahead, Jason, before I say what I was going to say.
Do I think it would be good? Yes. To everything that Josh just said, I think the cinematography would be better. The CGI would be off the charts. The acting would be fantastic.
With the right cast.
Yes, of course. With that, look, even I think what we've seen, I would say in the last 10 to 15 years, I would say that even a cast of characters that we possibly don't know all that well, you can still get marvelous acting.
Yeah,
so
I'd almost want it to be cast by unknowns, relative unknowns.
Yes. Yeah. That way you don't have like some kind of diva or superstar hijack the show at some point.
Yeah, and also like when you cast somebody, like if you cast Brad Pitt as Obi-Wan Kenobi or something wacky, like I think that just kind of like
it ruins immersion.
The movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now,
do I want it? No. Like I'm not a big fan of redos and remakes, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it wouldn't be epic. I would definitely go fucking watch it.
Yeah,
I would hate myself for watching it, but I would go watch it.
You would just hate watch it, yeah.
Yeah. Now, do we all agree that if this was ever a thing, they need to do this before James Earl Jones leaves this earth because he would be the only role not recast?
I don't know. I mean, I assume with technology today, you could voice modulate that stuff, right?
I'm pretty sure that at some point, Hayden Christensen is just going to have his voice modulated and be the voice.
I don't know, man.
Even though,
look, you still pay the estate of James Earl Jones to do that, but you could just computer it these days, and it'd be the same thing. You would never know the difference.
Probably. I mean, honestly, they could probably just if they really wanted to, they could even just like even if James Earl Jones passed or whatever, they could probably just take his voice from the original trilogy and literally just fucking.
Just overlay it. Yeah.
Overlay it in. Like,
pay that dude $100,000. Have him come in and voice record like 10,000 words.
I'm pretty sure they would give him more than that, almost guaranteed.
Probably more like 10 million.
Yeah, I think you're way undershooting it, Jason. All right,
voice guy.
Categories, Josh. What are we doing?
Yeah, let's do favorite scenes from the first episode, just so we can kind of focus on that a little bit.
Ooh.
I have an easy one, which I think is just kind of like the first scene of the show, which is not going back to Order 66, but just the Inquisitor intro.
Are they in the bar?
Yeah, like seeing them land, seeing them like walk out, and immediately you're like, holy shit, okay, yep. What is this? And they do the whole, you know who we are, you know why we're here, we're looking for a Jedi.
Who was the German Hans? Gruber or
Hans and Gruber? Yeah. Give me a break.
Are you talking about Inglourious Bastards?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was very a la that.
Yeah.
Dude, when Reva was basically like in hindsight now, in the moment I didn't realize what was happening, but clearly like in hindsight, Reva's just kind of basically she's overplaying good cop. Like Reva just wants to be bad cop all the time. Yeah. She is always bad cop. Dude, she's just like fucking takes a knife and throws it at this barkeep. Yeah. And it's
knowing that if there's a Jedi in there, they're going to stop it.
But here's the crazy part. If they were wrong or if the Jedi just wasn't there, she would
definitely just that would have been like the perfect deadpan look at the fucking camera and go, oops.
But like, well, he's not here.
I don't think if Obi-Wan was there, I don't think he'd have stopped it.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so either.
I don't think he would have been able to.
He's got too much. Well, maybe that too, but I think he's too. bought in, to that, right? To being hidden. That, be honest with you, I think he would have. Well, I don't want to get too far ahead because that's a scene I have later, but I think he would have let that bartender die, and I think he'd have let multiple people in that bar die.
Yeah. Because like
that's the commitment he's got though to the game. I mean,
one of my favorite scenes.
Living the gimmick.
This kind of moves into one of my favorite scenes, and that's another Reva kind of interrogation scene. This is after. It's still in the first episode when Obi-Wan and why am I blanking on this man's name? Owen, Uncle Owen. I guess Obi-Wan had tried to give that toy to Luke. I guess left it at the doorstep or whatever. Owen brings it back. Is like, look, we don't want anything to do with you. Stay away. And then Obi-Wan's like, hey, look, when he gets old enough, he's going to need the training. And Uncle Owen's
like he trained his father?
Like he trained his father. And that was a fucking sick burn.
Uncle Owen over there throwing shade, man. Like he very easily could have just gotten his head chopped off by a lightsaber. But
should have just backhanded him right there, flap.
One of my favorite scene is when Reva and the other Inquisitor, third brother, I believe, comes over and they're talking to the townspeople, the village.
Oh, and the Karen shows up?
She's like, I mean, I wouldn't call her that. I mean, she got her arm fucking chopped off. But
that was fantastic.
But dude, like I love
that chick that was sassing her.
Oh, she's like,
you don't have
any authority here. You're in the outer rim. Just just cuts her hand right off. And I love the line that Reva says before this. Basically, like, if anyone is found to have hiding a Jedi and you're found out about that, we're going to remove your hand. That way, anytime you reach for something, you will think of us.
You'll remember us.
Yeah.
And like, dude, Reva is I will say.
Do we want to discuss the elephant in the room?
No, what elephant in the room?
Hey, Josh brought it up before we started the pod, but I've seen the same thing. There's some hate.
Bro, there's an unlimited power amount of hate around Reva right now. Like, do people hate on Reva out there? I don't know. I like Reva.
I'm not sure. I guess I haven't really. I guess I've been purposefully avoiding like reviews and stuff because I don't want to change my opinions on anything like on accident or whatever. But yeah. So I guess I didn't realize there was a lot of hate for her, but I love Reva. I think she's good.
Basically the gist is that she's a little over the top.
She's a Sith.
She's a little too aggressive. And I guess to one of the points that I had was a little more, a little too much parkour on the rooftops. But okay, so I want to
have these people seen the prequel trilogy. There's so much fucking
Yoda is the king of parkour.
Yeah, like give me a break.
I want to say this though. Okay, so I am not 100% sure. So I could be wrong, but it doesn't make any difference because I'm still going to say what I'm about to say. Inquisitors are not full-blown Sith. They are not apprentices. They are under apprentices. So Vader
these are either former Jedis or just Force sensitive.
Correct. So Vader can have, I don't want to say an unlimited amount of Inquisitors, but he can have a small, let's say, brigade of Inquisitors.
Yeah, now, he runs those.
This is not the same thing as the traditional the rule of two, the Sith rule of two, which is a Sith master and a Sith apprentice. This kind of circumvents that a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you don't think beyond that and think that at some point one of these Inquisitors is vying to become his official apprentice.
Oh, I'm sure.
You're short-sighted.
Which I would think is Reva is at this point.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because if she can deliver Obi-Wan Kenobi, which they say in this episode, I believe, they were looking for him for 10 years. They didn't find him. He doesn't exist. Give it up. Yeah. And she's like, well, you just do that. I'm going to show Vader that I didn't give up. Because y'all are the ones that are falling behind. You're the guys that are failing, not me.
Yeah.
So it's obvious what she's trying to do. And it's like, I mean, if you haven't been paying attention to what the Sith do, I mean, it's at all cost. Power, is at all cost.
Yeah, like I don't understand the hate. I mean, she's literally playing exactly how this character, or obviously, the actress is doing whatever is written, right? But like the character is written exactly how I would expect a kind of like, a I don't want to say go-getter, but like a
brown noser, right?
A headstrong Sith would be, right? Like this is. Yep. I think it's great. I like it. And look, I didn't know anything about the character going in. I'm pretty sure this is a newly written character. I don't think this harkens back to anything. So I like it. I like her a lot. I think she's cool.
And the fact that you have an offsetting style between her and, is it third brother or fifth brother? Whoever he is.
The fifth brother is the Asian brother, and then the Grand Inquisitor is the main guy, the white face guy.
I mean, dude.
I guess the bald white face guy.
I mean, look, the spoiler. She fucking just stabs this dude straight through the heart. Like, I love that. I love the backstabbing.
If we don't have any more scenes from the first episode, then that was one of the scenes from the second episode for me. Is the whole cargo bay scene.
Oh, dude, so good.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew it, but
wait.
Go ahead.
Get too far. My favorite scene of episode 1 is Leia and the cousin.
Oh, super good.
Yeah, that's in the first episode?
Yeah.
Yes, I think it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely melts the kid's soul.
Yeah, because it is in the first episode, Josh, because by the first episode ends with Obi-Wan going to rescue her.
That's right. You're right.
The second
episode. that was a good scene.
Yeah, dude, because you get
and he's definitely using the Force.
So we've seen that before where the first thing I thought of was Star Trek, the newer Star Trek, with where you get a younger Spock, and basically you have these guys, calling Spock's mom like a human whore, basically, and then he just goes and fights them and gets upset. This was, I think, almost a better payoff because you get her using, logic, right, which is crazy, against this guy and kind of putting him in his place. I thought it was a good scene.
I'm glad you brought that up, Jason. I don't know if you were joking or whatever, but I do get the impression that they are kind of implying that Leia is clearly Force sensitive. She's using some type of Force intuition, right, to kind of read people. I don't think she knows what she's doing. Yeah, obviously she doesn't have any training, but it does make me wonder, man, that could be one of an explanation of why Leia was such a great politician. We don't see a lot of it in the movies, but you do get a lot of that, in the books and stuff like that. And she's always proven to be a natural leader. So I think that was pretty cool, at least for me.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Scenes from episode 2.
Yeah, so just going back to the cargo bay. Just a really cool, tense scene. We've seen that scene a million times, right? Where the bad guy's looking for the good guy behind the boxes and shit, but just done really well. And then you get the arrival of the Grand Inquisitor, and a scene that I thought was surprising was she stabs the Grand Inquisitor through the heart.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
I do like also that Obi-Wan is clearly struggling. I mean, he's been struggling this whole time, basically. Yeah. But in episode 2, you really see it more. I mean,
and I was surprised by that. I talked to you about that earlier. I was surprised. I guess I don't know what I expected. I guess I thought maybe he would still be Obi-Wan, right? It would just be riding a bike. And you saw it a little bit, when he got into that first fight, it wasn't the first 10 seconds wasn't great, but then he started getting some of his reflexes back, right?
Yeah.
And so you started seeing it. So I guess I was surprised that he was that rusty, or just, I don't know. That was surprising to me, but that is it is neat to see that.
Yeah, and I noticed, and I like it. It seems like he was really struggling. He never ignited his lightsaber. He even got to a point where he was holding it in his hand and he's kind of looking at it, but he just can't. It's like he can't. Like he used a blaster.
What
Like,
a
right-
dick tease, man.
Like-
I know. I was so surprised by that. Like every time he used a blaster, I was like, "Come on, dude, fire it up!"
Yeah.
Like and you know,
It's gonna be such a good
What's the
scene when
line?
it happens.
I do.
What's the line that he says in when he fights Grievous, and he's like so unsophisticated or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Blast and kill up
Yeah.
Grievous.
I do think they are slow burning him using his lightsaber because obviously the
I don't-
Obi-Wan of 10 years
I
ago.
don't think he lights it up until Vader hits the screen.
That's good. Yeah, the Obi, like you're gonna say, Dave, the Obi-Wan 10 years ago, like the dude's he's a monster with the lightsaber.
Well, I think when he was on those rooftops, he'd have just had his lightsaber and he'd have just deflected those laser blasts right back to the enemies, right? Like I don't think he would have been fucking around at all with that.
I think Jason said this earlier. Do you think it's just a confidence problem?
I think it's both.
little bit?
I think it's confidence, and I also think he's severed himself from the Force, right? Like if the Force is, I like to think of the Force as ink. If he's a pen, he is got no ink in him, right? Like he's purposefully removed himself of ink, and it's a slow draw, right? Like he's just kind of slow dripping it back into him to kind of do certain things. But I think we are going to get probably the last episode, right, or the penultimate episode, where we're going to get a small sliver of old Obi-Wan at some point, probably when he has to face Vader, because he can't lose that fight, or at least,
Theoretically, right?
Theoretically, because obviously he doesn't die. So
Yeah.
And neither does Vader. So it's probably a stalemate. We don't know. Obviously, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. But
I think I think another scene in the second episode that's probably a standout is the fake Jedi scene.
dude,
Where he,
I was thinking, because I know that actor. I don't know the name of the actor off the top of my head, but he's been in a bunch of stuff.
Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah, dude, super good. I was like, because when he goes in, I was fooled. I was like, oh my God, this dude is just fucking like, I was like, I thought maybe he was just like a dickhead Jedi who's just decided,
Right.
like, I'm just going to use my powers. Like, he almost reminded me, like, I thought it was like, man, this is like, if Han Solo was a Jedi, it'd be this dude just like scamming people. But
Or if they made like a series where the Jedi were like the boys.
oh, dude. Yeah, but yeah, and it turns out this all was remotes and like fucking magnets and fake shit. I love that though. When he's like, he fucking fake Jedi mind tricks that dude on the radio.
I'm Jedi mind tricking you right now.
and the woman's like eating it up. The mom's like, oh my
She's
gosh.
like, you are so powerful in the Force. And he's like,
Yeah.
no.
He's like, yes, I do this. I do this because I care. But, if you have some money to spare, yes, please,
Yeah.
and it's like
And
five.
then, they get that awkward moment where he's like waiting for her to pay the credits. He's like, credits?
Yeah, and then you find out it's like 500 credits plus more, and it's like, holy shit! I don't know how much credits to dollars are, but it doesn't sound like a little amount.
When he tells Obi-Wan, he goes, yeah, it's 500 to find her, 300 to get her, and I mean, if you make it a cool 1,000, I'll even do some tricks for you.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh man.
Are you disappointed, or how do you feel whenever he tried to stop Reva? I guess like delay her
I will
somehow.
say this.
And then she reads his mind. That
Yeah.
sucked.
My disappointment for that scene isn't exactly on how it played out, but she should have just killed him.
Yes.
Stayed in character.
Does that mean we're going to see him make a comeback later?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're coming back to that planet, probably. So
That's true. So the actor Kumail, he actually had a funny tweet where he's talking about him and his cousin were big Star Wars fans growing up, and his cousin had like a poster or something in his room that he really loved, and he used to kind of rub it in his face that he had this poster and he didn't have it. I think I got the one up now.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I will tell you, there's a moment in there in the show. It didn't happen in episode 1, but it happened in episode 2, and it was when they got into the cargo hold right before Reva showed up. And it was when Leia was talking to Obi-Wan, and he just kind of gave her a look, and he's like, you just remind me of somebody. And
Padme.
yeah. And man, I got a little bit. I was like, "Oh shit, who's cutting some onions in this fucking place?" I was like, man, you know, that's
Dusty in here.
I didn't know that would actually like affect me, but it did a little bit. I was like, damn, you know, it never even occurred to me. The
power of good acting.
Yes,
Yeah.
It never even occurred to me that, yeah, of course, this is probably likely the first time he's seen Padme's daughter. Right?
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah, I'm sure he would see a bit of Padme in Leia. And when I thought about that, I was like, you know, Padme was pretty headstrong like Leia, you know, and stuff like that. So, you know, I was like, okay, all right, show. All right, I see you. You're affecting me.
My favorite scene is still in the same cargo hold, but it is the part where it's the big reveal in the eyes of Obi-Wan.
So good.
Yeah, and it's shot the way that the scene is shot. Cinematography, Dave. The way that the scene is shot is almost identical to Return of the Jedi when Luke is fighting Vader. And he's trying to hold the secret of Leia, and his fear is betraying him. And they pan the shot at him, and it's almost identical the way the whole thing plays out. She says, "Oh, you didn't know."
Yeah.
Anakin Skywalker is still alive.
Is alive. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same exact sequencing and the same shot as when Luke is up against the wall and Vader goes, "Oh, you're hiding, sister," and it's fantastic. I love the way it's shot, and I thought McGregor played the scene without saying anything, just facial as far as his expression.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Categories for this, Josh?
Yeah, so favorite character from episode 1. You know, I alluded earlier, this is Leia for me. I thought she was just a fucking joy to watch on this episode. She was so fun.
On episode 1 or 2?
Episode 1.
Okay. Yeah, I would say Leia for episode 1 for me as well. Because of the surprise factor and just like and it was so well done. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the curveball, and I'm gonna take the hate, and I'm gonna go with Reba.
There you go.
I thought of all the. I know. Look, I feel like in my head, I feel like I know what they're trying to do here. The two Inquisitors, the Grand Inquisitor and Brother Five,
fifth brother. Yeah,
fifth brother. They are what appear to be a little bit either older or a little bit more in line with, let's say, current
the ideals. Yeah.
Yes. Reva is the younger, what will become, in my opinion, like what the Empire is actually going to become in the future, over the next 8 years. More malicious, less.
She's the future.
As far as,
well, they also reference like her upbringing or like where she's from. Like she's not from the same background, it seems like, as some of the other Inquisitors. So she's theoretically, I would assume, like in terms of like how our vernacular, right? Maybe she's from the streets, or she's just from like maybe a more poor upbringing. So she's got a little bit more to prove.
Yeah.
She
had a chip on her shoulder
as well.
And I think you have to have somebody in this show. If you're not going to feature Vader, which like you're saving Vader, if you're not going to feature somebody that's going to have that kind of maliciousness, then somebody has to step in and fill the void.
Yep.
Yeah. I think she's good, so I think that's a good call. What about least favorite characters? I think this is easy for this episode.
Episode 1?
Yeah, I think it's Owen by a fucking mile, dude. Fuck that guy. What a fucking asshole, dude. Obi-Wan is there to protect Luke, right? And look, He's there to train him because he's got to keep the
Hey, look.
you got to keep the train rolling, right?
How do we know?
And Owen is just a piece of shit.
How do we know? I mean, look, let's be honest. How do we even know that Owen wanted that fucking kid dropped off on his doorstep? Like, he might be resentful for dropping this another mouth to feed.
Okay, so let Obi-Wan take over, bro.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't go with Owen. I'm gonna go. This is a little bit of a cheat, right? But I'm gonna go with a Grand Inquisitor here, because, like, obviously I have the benefit of hindsight, but even within the confines of the first episode, with the name and the look of somebody of the Grand Inquisitor, I'm just like, we see him for a moment in the beginning of the second episode, and we see him like have that, his lightsaber's like helicoptering on Flea, and then he kills him off.
Fucking kills Flea, yeah.
But like,
I wish he didn't kill him off screen. That sucked.
Yeah, I want to see like a flea copter, like just of body parts. But dude, like, he's a bitch. Honestly, like, dude, your name is Grand Inquisitor. You have like red lines on your face. You're this pale skin, like weird looking motherfucker with a badass name, and you're just a bitch. And then you get stabbed in the fucking heart. Yeah, man.
Like a bitch.
Yeah, I know this is lame or whatever, but yeah, I think I'm going Grand Inquisitor episodes 1 and 2, like double. He gets
look at Dave going with low hanging fruit, like that. Like that's the first time it's ever happened.
Okay, so for episode 2, we're still on episode 1 for least.
Yeah, episode 1, least favorite character.
All right, so I'm gonna go a little off the beaten path here, and I'm going to go with Jedi Nari. The one that actually finds Obi-Wan in the middle of the desert. The one that is
the one that gets hung from the fucking from the bridge up there or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, look, the Inquisitors show up, and somehow, inexplicably, you escape. So your first idea is to go find Obi-Wan and try and blow his cover.
Yeah,
and he gives you advice. He gives you advice. Says, go bury the lightsaber, go live a normal life. Like, the last place I'm going back to is the town where the Inquisitors are looking for a Jedi.
Right.
That just happens to be me. What a dumbass.
Yeah.
That's a good choice.
That is actually a good choice. I mean, I feel ashamed for not picking it, but it's a good choice.
All right, so episode 2, what about favorite characters for episode 2?
I'm going to go Obi-Wan here, and I'm just going to say,
okay.
Because
low-hanging fruit.
I don't care. I go with the best option. So, the character development and growth of Obi-Wan in the second episode, like, just, and this is a testament obviously to the writing, but the acting of Ewan McGregor. I mean, it's just, it feels like we're just adding so many more layers to a character that, let's be honest, in the original trilogy, not super, super interesting, right? Like, yes, he has some moments, and yes, like, he's always been important to Luke, but that's really all he ever was somebody very important to Luke. But man, like, between, Jason's favorite scene from this episode and just his interactions with Leia, and, him going around and trying to find her, I think Obi-Wan kind of stole the show in the second episode for me.
That's strange. I would go with Reva. I think Reva has she has a good coming out party in this episode. Like the first episode, she's constantly being repressed by the Grand Inquisitor. This one, she stabs him in the fucking heart, and it's clear that she is kind of in charge of this process now. And I just, like I said, I don't get the hate, man. I kind of like the cut of her jib.
Yep, I like her as well.
When she stabs him in the chest and she looks at him, like, she brings it in close and she's like, "You thought I was going to let you just take this credit from me?"
Yeah.
That was good. That was a good scene.
That was
and
really
like I hear people talking about her acting, and I'm like, I think it's good. I don't know.
I see absolutely nothing wrong with this at all. And I
don't either.
And it is well documented. I grieve over the smallest fucking problems.
Yeah, you guys are super critical.
Yeah.
Josh, I swear to God, that when you put that thing on your nose, I thought there was some type of artifact or something on my screen. Like I didn't realize what was going on. Sorry, Jason, go ahead.
Let's see. So, favorite character, episode 2. Josh got my. I was gonna make it a double, so it's Reva. But Obi-Wan is right there, and I think, depending on how the next 4 episodes go, if it's really going to be Reva versus Obi-Wan, whether it's cat and mouse for at least another couple of episodes until we get Vader,
I look forward to it.
I think we're in for some fun stuff.
I do too. What about least favorite from episode 2? I got a hot take. Man. Look, life comes at you fast, okay? Princess Leia, she was the best character in the first episode. God, I fucking hate her in episode 2. What a piece of garbage. Like, dude, Obi-Wan has already got a hard enough fucking job, okay? He's having to go against these Inquisitors, and he's already trying to, like, figure out his own shit. He doesn't even want to fucking be here. And she is just like, oh, you're here to hurt me. You don't know what's going on. Just shut the fuck up. Just shut up.
Hey, Josh, you should definitely, like, have kids.
Oh, no. Fuck all that. Fuck them kids. Yeah.
I completely disagree. I still like Leia as a character. She wasn't my favorite from this episode, but I think she's still really good.
I wish she would have splattered on the fucking concrete.
That's a little bit much.
I mean, look, I knew she wasn't going to obvious, but
least favorite character, episode 2, for me is the Grand Inquisitor.
Got it.
How out of touch. Read the room, man. Read the room. He's like,
I will show you how it's done, and just fucking gets.
He's so stupid.
And this dude's supposed to be force sensitive, man. So either she's that much more powerful, or
he was sensitive to that lightsaber, all right.
Yeah, I'm removing you from this case or whatever, this job, and he's like, we will handle you when we get back. And she's just looking at him like,
that dude like sensitive to some sunlight.
Yeah, she's just looking at him like, I'm about to kill you, and he's just like oblivious.
Looking like a goddamn vampire over there. Looking like Gangrel.
Dude, who was the character in Mortal Kombat that he looked like? Juan or something?
I know who you're talking about. Oh no! Like, why is this dude wearing a dress? This dude's looking like he's wearing the Human Darts raid gear from ICC.
I was about to fucking say, bro. Look, sometimes you just don't have a choice. Maybe Vader's like, listen, this is what it is.
I need you to wear this
job. You want the pay?
I need you to wear this dress,
bro. Yeah.
Well,
what are you gonna argue with fucking Lord Vader?
He wore the dress and he got fucked by that lightsaber. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
God.
Just zapped his dumbass.
Yeah. Was that Dave? I'm assuming that was your least favorite as well.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the dude's a bitch. That's already been. It's done. It's a done deal.
All right. So we know we got 4 episodes left in the show, right? So what about? Well, I guess time here for issues, predictions, questions.
I
have a couple.
I don't have any issues because in a show like this, I feel like I kind of want to excuse me. I kind of want to wait and see. There's nothing. I will say this: the main issue that I had was like they needed a good reason to get Obi-Wan off of the planet. They provided that, and so far there's no glaring issues for me personally.
Yeah, I coming in.
I agree.
Me and Dave both had the same one as far as how do you get them off the planet? The other part I had an issue with coming in, a concern, I'll say, was we had established pretty much what Obi-Wan was through the first 3 movies when we did our podcast last week. And I would say that he's almost exactly where we left off. He is just a less confident and not wanting to use the Force. But again, I mean, he got himself captured, got himself out of it. You know, he kind of just lets things happen and just kind of reacts as he goes.
Yeah.
But I as far as the only issue that I had, and me and Josh talked about this a little bit earlier, and it's petty. I don't care. It's the rooftop hardcore stuff that Reba is doing. Like, you see the blasters going off. Just get from point A to point B. The whole, the flippy bouncing around and stuff it's meant to show you like she's talented. But I mean, she's an Inquisitor. Like, can we just
assume that? Yeah.
I don't care. I
didn't have a problem. I enjoyed all that part of it. I did find it like it took her forever to get over there, but the scenes where she was doing like the whole swinging around the poles and shit, that was fun.
Yeah. So I guess predictions?
Well, I guess question-wise, I do have questions. Like, do we think, so my question ultimately is, why does she have this hard-on for Obi-Wan, right? Like, is it just to be like a teacher's pet to Darth Vader? Or do we think that there's something deeper, like maybe a relationship with her and Obi-Wan, or maybe he impacted her in some way?
I don't think so.
I think when it's concerning Obi-Wan Kenobi, I think it is strictly
purely Darth Vader.
In an attempt to become Vader's apprentice.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Now her and I don't remember if I said this on the YouTube channel or earlier, but I had read that the belief was during the Order 66, in the first few minutes of the show, that the young girl that's in the very middle of the screen, out of the 5 children that run for their lives, that the middle one is actually Reba. I don't know if that's confirmed 100%, but it does lend to the lines that she says later to the crowd, where she says that the Jedi will abandon you, they will fail you, they have failed you.
If she's witnessed it,
she was there, like she saw it. Now, I think she maybe misremembers some of that because that girl just didn't die for no reason. The Jedi.
Like, she was trying. She died to protect her. Yeah. So.
Yeah. That Jedi that was protecting him was doing a damn good job too.
Yeah. So I do believe that's where you get a little bit of manipulation from the dark side, and it's pretty easy to turn a kid like that.
Yeah.
But I do absolutely think she is trying to do a power move to.
I echo Jason's analysis of that. I mean, I think this is solely to curry favor with Lord Vader. And I taking it a slight step further, dipping a little bit into predictions, I think she's even going to propose the rule of 2, or not by name, but like that they take out the Emperor and they
take out Palpatine and she becomes the apprentice.
Yes.
Okay, I like that.
Which I think will ultimately be her undoing, along with something else that I'm going to say later.
Do we think we see Ahsoka Tano at all in this series?
I don't think so.
No, this is. No.
I don't think we're going to see anybody besides Vader and Obi-Wan. As far as
you don't think this is like any of the other ones? Like, they don't need any of that extra shit in there?
No, I don't think so.
I think
that would crowd it too much.
As strange as this sounds, because of how long it took for the Star Wars fan base to truly embrace Hayden Christensen as Vader, like, they are chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
Like, this is the slowest burn of slowest burns of mankind. When Vader hits the screen, like, there's going to be 1 million reaction videos on YouTube.
Dude, I mean, I contemplated Like when we get a little bit further along, I may have to like record myself watching these episodes. I don't know.
Look, I would start relatively soon because
maybe the next episode.
Yeah, I think I might have to.
And look, you don't have to show it if it doesn't happen. But
no, it might just be for myself if it's dumb.
I'm just saying, like, you just don't know because what Josh said earlier. We're at 6 episodes, and we've got 2 episodes in. It's time for business to pick up.
Yeah.
And at the end of episode 2, we see the back to tank, and I assume.
Yeah, I mean it's Vader in there.
It's Vader.
Yeah. What a way to end episode 2, by the way.
With the breath sound.
Oh, dude, I just was like, can somebody just
leak? We get episode 3 already?
Can somebody just leak the whole thing already? Like, so I can just watch it all.
And from what I have read, and from the interviews that Hayden Christensen has given, it's him in the suit. There is no body double. There is no stunt double. There is no other actor playing Vader. It's him.
Yeah.
In the suit. So he's all in.
Last question I had.
Yeah. And
this kind of leads into some upcoming content here. So hopefully you guys have followed along with us for the last couple of years, and you've seen us do the review for the seasons of The Boys. So we do have season 3 of The Boys coming up next week. We're going to be a little bit delayed here. But the next time we do a podcast, we're going to do season 3 of The Boys, the first couple episodes here. Do we think season 3 of The Boys is going to be better than Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Ooh.
Look, it's tough to compare franchises that really are very different. Obviously, I'm personally very biased towards Star Wars just because I've grown up with it my entire life.
It's okay to say yes, Dave. I think The Boys is definitely going to be better than this show.
I think entertainment value wise, I think The Boys is going to be better.
Yes,
but
if
schoolgirl me is all us on.
I will tell you. Let me answer this. To answer your question, yes, I do think that my prediction is that The Boys will be better than Obi-Wan. Now, let me caveat that by saying that Obi-Wan, this show has the potential to be better than it if it lands on everything. It can be better. The potential is there, but it would take a lot, and I don't know if we get there, but it will. But I would say if I'm a betting man, The Boys will be better.
Well, look, all of our listeners out there, hopefully, check out our Boys reviews as they come up here. We're going to do episode by episode on that, so we'll see. Maybe that's something we talked about on the last episode of The Boys. Did this end up being better than Obi-Wan or not? Who knows?
All right.
Now, predictions going forward.
Yeah,
okay. So I'll drop mine first because it's the longest, and then I'll let y'all do all the talking so I can just do nothing.
You and me have you had the general premise, and then we kind of worked out like an idea for going forward for what this would go. So prediction is basically prediction.
I'll tell the prediction, or I'll tell like my version of it, and you can take or leave parts of it for yours. Does that work?
Right.
Okay.
Go for it.
So I ultimately, and I'll tell you kind of how we get there, but ultimately I predict that Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, will learn that Luke is alive, or of his existence. And he will learn that from Reva, who will inevitably find out. Okay? And Reva will tell that information to Vader. Okay?
Did we? I'm sorry. Maybe I'm stupid here. In episode 4, I'm trying to remember. Does it feel like he just discovers that Luke is alive, or does he already know and then they start sensing Luke? I'm trying to remember episode 4.
New Hope.
Yeah. Does he know? I'm trying to remember his reaction whenever Luke shows up, or whenever he realizes Luke is in the fray. Or maybe that's episode 5.
So here's the thing. we never get a moment from Vader. We never get it on screen. To my knowledge, anyone feel free to point out that I'm wrong, but to my knowledge, and Jason could correct me. Yeah, there's never a moment where Vader goes, "Oh, my son's alive." Like, no, that never fucking happens. So they can use this show as the moment that Vader does find out that Luke's alive. Now,
up to this point, he thinks that Padme died at his hands, and that the child died with her.
Yeah, he didn't even know he had twins. But
they didn't have sonograms back then.
So the show, if you notice, I believe it was in episode 1 at some point. There's a lot of voiceover, like from the past, and one of the lines that is stated from Padme is that there is still good in him.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think that line was there by happenstance. I think that was a potential hint.
Because Obi-Wan never tells Luke, ever, that he thinks that there's still good in Vader. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I can't. I mean, he doesn't.
I don't think he ever says that.
All he ever tells Luke is that Vader killed your father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and they've made little hint. They made the hint in episode 2 about how Obi-Wan, is remembering Padme and stuff like that. I think we're gonna get a moment where when they face off, I think Obi-Wan is going to win the fight with his words. And Vader is going to learn of Luke's existence, but ultimately decide to do nothing about it. He's not going to go down and take him. He's not going to go down and whatever. And I think Vader's the one who kills Reva. Because I don't think Obi-Wan is strong enough to do it. I think he's way too out of practice. I think Reva would just destroy him.
Yeah.
So I think Reva's going to learn of Luke's existence through some means. She's going to tell Vader, like, hey, let's get your son. Let's take over. We can kill Palpatine or whatever. And that's going to trigger. And he's going to be like, no, I'm not going to let what happen. He's going to have a moment where Anakin Skywalker comes out. Because there's still, we know from Return of the Jedi that there's still like a sliver of good buried in him somewhere. And that Luke is the catalyst for that good. And we're going to get the first glimpse of that in this show. And he's going to kill Reva and then kind of move on. That's it.
I don't think so.
I think he's all evil all the time in this show.
I disagree.
I'm going to go with Dave on this. Is when we were kind of talking it through, you can, because here's the issue.
Why would it be good to Obi-Wan? Obi-Wan cut his goddamn legs off.
I know that's what I'm about to get into. Here is the problem, and I think this is what kind of triggered Dave's thought process to come up with this ending. You can't have anybody in this show find out about Luke or Leia, because all of those people don't exist by the time New Hope starts. So every single one of them has to die. And either Obi-Wan has to kill them, or somehow they have to meet at a various end. And the only logical one that could take them down with a little objection would be a surprise by Vader. Now, the only twist that I put into this that I felt like might be interesting was the fact that Vader is being told by Reva about the child that lives, and he, through other means, believes that it's Luke. But she is actually talking about Leia, but never says he or she. And he is that close to finding out that he has twins, but kills her before he finds out. That was my only twist on it.
Yeah. But ultimately, Jason and I have come to the same prediction that, because to Jason's point, every one of these Inquisitors, by nature of what happens in the original trilogy, they have to die. They can't be alive at the start of episode 4. So, that is
they either can't be alive because the information can't get back to Vader because he doesn't know, or to like what Dave was saying, Vader finds out about Luke or the child and kills the only person who knows,
other than Obi-Wan and himself.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it. I was like, if let's just say it's Luke, he finds out about Luke. Reba tells him. The confrontation between Obi-Wan and Vader is over Luke and about Reva or whatever. And in that instance, that's the way that Obi-Wan survives whatever battle they might have. And he's tasked with keeping Luke safe and away from the Emperor. That would also be a small sliver to why Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru are absolutely slaughtered and burnt to a crisp.
Yeah.
In A New Hope.
Hey, look, at this point, I don't like Uncle Owen's attitude. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. I mean, if Vader learns, if he learns like specifically of that Luke and where Luke is, that does give more credence to why the stormtrooper. Well, they do explain in episode 4 like how they interrogated the Jawas and then they found whatever, right? But maybe it's because Vader's like, hey, go here,
What's
go
that
there.
address again? Oh, let me look at my Rolodex. Hold on.
Yeah, I already got that shit. Yep, go get him.
Yeah, go ahead and set him on fire.
Yeah.
Don't shoot him first.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other predictions or thoughts?
No, I mean, that was my main one.
I will say this because I just, before we got on the pod, I just finished up the second episode. I'm assuming that the fake Jedi is not sending them out on a trap.
I agree. I don't think it's a trap.
But he is sending them somewhere specific. Do we think it's any place we know of?
I will say this. The show has been good about it so far, but I do not want to have a prequel situation where we just get something for the sake of saying, oh, look, this is that one obscure thing that no one asked to know the origin story, but here's the origin story for it anyway. Like, yeah. I don't care. Like,
he's like, oh, it's me, a Jar Jar.
Oh yeah, like they get sent back.
Is that Jar Jar or is that fucking Mario?
That sounds like Mario.
Yeah,
I'm terrible with impersonation.
Yeah.
The only other question I had is, because he's calling out for him in the first 2 episodes here, do we get
absolutely
a Force ghost of Qui-Gon, like actual Liam Neeson and Qui-Gon?
100%. They got Liam Neeson for this. I
think so too.
I mean,
look,
convinced.
Liam Neeson is making like direct streaming movies right now. I think he's got time to reprise the role of fucking Qui-Gon.
I told Dave this the other day. I said, the best part about having Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader?
He ain't doing nothing else.
That dude is starving. He is starving for work. He can literally be in anything you want him to.
Yeah,
dude, I would take.
He's like, oh, you want me to? Oh, no, I want to be in the suit.
I would take a Darth Vader 6-episode series of him just hunting down Jedi after Return of the Jedi. Like,
hey man, I would love to see the gap that we have right now, the 10-year gap. I would love to see that filled with, say, a 3-part movie, a trilogy for just Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to reprise his role in Sakatano as well.
Dude, if he needs the paycheck, which I'm pretty sure he does,
as Anakin,
maybe.
Oh, is that supposed to take place before? Because if it's supposed to take place, yeah, it'd have to be flashback.
Yeah,
I mean, look,
otherwise,
the guy's like, hey, I'll work for peanuts. Oh, hey, just thought of it. How epic is it seeing one of the clone troopers?
Oh, dude!
The beggar on the street.
He's like,
oh yeah, that was cool.
He's like, you got some money for a veteran? I don't know why he became that accent that I gave him, but
why he became fucking Chong over there.
you know, like I just think that actor's like just reminds me of Steven Seagal, and that's mostly because the Book of Boba Fett was terrible. But anyway,
I'm a veteran.
Well, look, I think ultimately, Obi-Wan did a great job in the first 2 episodes. I think it's answered a lot of the hopes for us that we hoped this was going to be a really good show. So
yeah,
I'm certainly looking forward to the 3rd episode.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Can't fucking wait. So
Dave is trolling every service on the black web, looking for all of the episodes to be leaked early.
Yeah. I wish. So I guess
hey, we're gonna. Oh, go ahead.
No, well, go ahead, Josh.
Well, I was just gonna say we're gonna be a little bit delayed coming out with the next episode of Obi-Wan.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, so don't look for it next Saturday. It's going to be the following Tuesday, so we're going to be about 10 days out here for the next episode. But great news. Hopefully, we're going to do Obi-Wan, and if Amazon is Amazon, then we're going to do the first 3 episodes of The Boys. So we're going to try to get that all together in one show. Yeah, we'll try. We may only be able to do Obi-Wan, and then maybe we do like a Boys mega episode a little bit later in the week or something, but for sure, we will be here Tuesday, 10 days from now, talking about the 3rd episode of Obi-Wan for sure.
It's almost guaranteed that my wife's water will break during the podcast. And I'll be like, hey, guys, I got to go.
Yeah,
that'll be a repeat. We remember that.
So it'll be 2 guys and a mic then.
But, all right, well, I think that we had another successful podcast, gentlemen.
Yeah. So in the meantime, we'll see you guys here at
11:30.
Nah, dude, we're crushing the game here.
Yeah.
So, in the meantime, we'll see you guys in about 10 days with Obi-Wan Episode 3 and hopefully The Boys. But until then, live long and prosper.
Take it easy, everybody.
Later.
See ya!